When I was growing up, I found property was nowhere near in my reach. The reality is I didn't have a large deposit and I certainly didn't have no bank of mum and dad. So how then, if you find yourself in that position, do you manage to put yourself in a position where you have the money to buy a property? There are a few tricks and steps you can take, or if not you can take, you have to take to ensure a successful property journey, especially if it's your first property. Number one, you have to have a side hustle. What that looks like is some kind of revenue generating job or thing you're into that is outside your working day. So if your working day is 9 till 5, there's something you need to do in the evenings and at weekends where you can make enough money, £300 to £500 a month, that you can save up and put towards the deposit and any other associated expenses of your first purchase. Secondly, even though you may live in a metropolis or an inner city and you want to buy that first property and the prices are very high, in that first property consideration, it means you may have to go slightly outside of your area. If it's one for you to live in, then you want to make sure it has commutable distance, a reasonable commutable distance to your workplace. If it's one you're going to rent out, then less important. But in starting your journey with minimum funds, it's better to go to cheaper areas and buy relatively cheaply than try and buy on your doorstep with a high requirement of a deposit. Thirdly, you can do what's called a skill swap. So where you have a particular skill that people may want, conversely, others have their own skills. So for instance, a painter and decorator, a plumber, they may be skills you require to have work done to your house. Conversely, you may be very good at advertising, you may be very good at spreadsheets, you may be very good at administration. So you can do a skill swap. No money exchanged, they do their bit for you and you do their bit for them. That way, you don't have to incur an expense. With those tips in mind, if you are going to go out, having done your side hustle, saved up thousands of pounds over a few years, having got some people where you can do skill swap, having also looked at cheaper areas where you may be able to find affordable properties within your budget, once you've done all of that, it's time to go and start looking. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you will go around estate agents and view different properties on a random basis. With technology now, you have the ability to sit in the quiet of your own home, research properties anywhere in the country and get an exceptional amount of information before you even have to go and view a property. The viewing of the property should be your last thing. When you're almost 80% certain that this looks like the right one, it's at that point you go out looking for properties. Remember, you're working full time and you don't have time to waste. When you're not working Monday to Friday, you're embarking on your side hustle. So time is of essence. If you follow those first few tips that I've mentioned there, I believe your starting point without the bank of mum and dad will enable you to get onto the property ladder. I wish you luck and I hope it goes well.